Hey everyone, it's Chris Loud. Today I'm going to show a demo of how I add quick texture to abstract acrylic paintings. I'll be working on paper in my sketchbook, but you can use this technique on a canvas or other surfaces. Typically I use gesso to create texture when I work on a surface like a canvas or a wood panel, but I've also used this technique. So what I'm going to do before I brush on any paint is add dried acrylic paint peeled off of my palette. I'm going to fix that to the page with some acrylic gel medium. And then I'm going to dry it quickly with a hair dryer. In order for the dried paint to blend in, it's important to add it before you start painting. Once you start painting, it helps give those areas a smoother look so you don't have hard edges. And it's okay if you have some hard edges, and depending on what look you're going for, you might want all of them to have hard edges. I typically like to have them smoothed out, and I want them to look like they're naturally part of the painting. And this obviously is not the only way to add quick texture, but I think the final look resembles layering and the application of thick paint and expressive brush strokes. And I didn't put the video of me drying it with a hair dryer, and I didn't spend a whole lot of time. I probably did that for a minute and a half to 2 minutes just to get the acrylic gel medium dried enough. And then I take a filbert brush and start applying. Let's see, I'm using alizarin crimson, cadmium orange, and permanent magenta with a little bit of white, just to start my background. This warm-up painting I'm doing with this is something I'm playing with for possibly doing a series on some wood panels. That was the gessoed panels that I showed earlier in the video that I'll be working on here in a couple of days. But I wanted to play with the colors a little bit and to do a 15 to 20 minute warm up to kind of get an idea of how I was feeling, if there was things I needed to work on before I started working on those panels. And just using a blending brush to kind of blend that background. And so now I'm bringing in my blues. So I'm going to have some of that orange peek through, or those warmer colors peek through. But I'm going to go ahead and add several blues. I'm using Prussian blue, ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, and light blue permanent. And I do add some Payne's gray as well. But I'm allowing some colors to mix. So I want a little bit of violets in there, a little bit of right now I've got a little bit of lavender going. So I am mixing some of the ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson, as well as some of the permanent magenta with some of the blues, just to vary the colors a little bit. And this painting turned into kind of a finger painting journey for me there. I tend to, when I'm doing these quick paintings and time paintings, I use my hands a lot to blend, just very, very quickly. Plus I only have 2 of the blending brushes, and once you get those working, they get pretty messy and hard to clean in a short amount of time. And if you don't have a palette where you can peel your paint off, I highly recommend getting one. I just got a new Tri-Art non-stick palette, and it's the one I picked up was a 12 by 16, but I know they make a 16 by 20 and some smaller ones as well, and they're fantastic for peeling off paint. I also have a inexpensive one. I'd love to tell you where I got it, but I got that so early on I don't remember where I picked that up. I wish I did so I could get more of them, but if you need one, I'll leave a link in the description for the Tri-Art non-stick palettes. Really nice palettes, and if you're using palettes for larger paintings, like I said, they've got some larger size ones, so it's kind of nice. And the dried acrylic paint, I use that for mixed media art as well, and it's just really a very versatile medium to use. I really enjoy using that. Plus you get some great colors sometimes with those when you peel them off. But here I'm just continuing to get a feel for where I'm going, looking at the painting and adding different colors, adding to the dark areas, and just trying to figure out where I'm headed here. I knew I wanted to add a little bit more orange as a focal point. I think I actually add some orange in the permanent magenta as well. I'm using a palette knife to scrape in some lines to let some of the underpainting show through. So I used a filbert brush, acrylic gel medium, my hands, a palette knife, and I also used a 1-inch paintbrush I got from, I think it was Home Depot, for $1. And I cut the ends of it off because it had some wispy bristle ends to it, and I didn't want that, so I cut that off. And it's kind of a hard brush, and that was the brush I used at the very beginning when I started putting the blues on. I was using that brush to get some thick paint down. And again, now I'm applying some of those warmer colors and trying to get them around the painting a little bit to create a little harmony. But let me know if you have a favorite way to add texture to your paintings. I mean, obviously there's using thick paint with brush strokes, and doing stuff with gesso when you're first applying gesso to your surface, adding paper and other materials. I know there's different items like crackle paint that you can get that'll give you a unique texture to your painting. But let me know in the comments if you have anything that you like to use. And at the end, I'll show you the final painting, and I'll show you in different orientations. And I think this one really worked with every orientation. And if you like this painting, feel free to hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. But abstract paintings are wonderful to flip around as well, like I did with this one, and kind of keep working on it with a little bit different perspective. And I'll leave in the description all the paints and materials I used, and I'll leave a link for that TriArt nonstick palette if you're interested in one of those and checking that out. So here's the final painting, and I'll show you a few different orientations. And you can see how those textures added character to this painting. So thanks for watching, and keep on painting.